Hi everybody, it's Season 1 2, and we're going to be talking about another Halloween special. But before we do, I want to give you a little context about the cartoon that, well, I guess you could call it anime. But, then we're going to talk about, and why this episode is definitely a Halloween episode. And that episode is Doron from Flint, the Time Detective. Now, Flint, the Time Detective is about a boy from the caveman era. He is, and he is fossilized by a villain. Now, we're going to get to her in a minute. And so he's found in the future by two kids, Tony and Sarah. And so he, God, be right back. Where was I? So my girlfriend likes to call me every hour. So anyway, he's found by Sarah and Tony. Now, while in the past, a time shifter named Gidlog is also with them, and she's fossilized too. So anyway, like I said, he is given a badge, and Get Along is always with him. Now, I'm going to talk about a little bit about these time shifters, as they're called. So, time shifters are um, monsters. Well, kind of. They're more like beings, and they have special abilities. There's one that can freeze things, one that can cause water. There's one that can give you money, or even make you greedy. There's one that can turn things to gold. There's a bunch of them, and so why did they have to go out and get these things? Well, there is a villain named Petrofina and her two sidekicks, Dino and Might. So, and they're always out to get these time shifters. And so, and the reason why is because a character by the name of the Dark Lord wants to take these time shifters and use them for his own evil purpose. Time shifters have two modes. The first mode is, well, actually three modes. First mode is the standard mode. They're the little mode, like the smaller mode. And they have no, like, extreme powers. I mean, they just, it's just their base form. Kind of like Pokemon or Digimon. And then they have a second form, or an evil form, as they call their Khan version. Like Eldora Khan or Bindi Khan. But then, and this only happens when they're stamped, and I don't even know why she does it, but she whips them. And she doesn't even need to. She can just tell him, and she goes, Pentamortem! Whatever evil version of them. And then there's the good version, which is Master, where they basically become a bigger version of themselves, but they're good. And sometimes one of my favorite ones is the Guardians. Guardians is a bunch of heroes who can combine to become a robot. So, back to Doron. Doron is a ghost with a pumpkin for its head. And, oh, and by the way, all these so-called tie sifters are usually with iconic people. Like music, for example, was in the time of Beethoven and Bach. But Doron is in the time of Thomas Edison. Now, in this episode, they go back to the past, and Doron, they see that Edison has been hurt, and they think it's him, but apparently it's not. And him and Doron are both buddies. They like to play pranks on each other, which is told by Terry, their little pal. So they kind of get to meet Thomas Edison. And by the way, they aren't supposed to tell anybody what's going to happen in the future, because obviously no one wants to know about the future. And so, by the way, the way they get to the past is they get a time card. And this time card, they put in this time machine, which is I guess it's a flying dinosaur or something, and they go to the past. So, Pet Davida, comes by and stamps Doron and turns him into Doron Khan, which I think is supposed to be a bigger ghost with a pumpkin head version of him. But eventually he is turned back good. And by the way, I gotta tell you about this. Flint and his dad, who during the defossilization process is now a rock. But Professor Gimlin turns him into a hammer. And it has two functions. It has two functions. A fossilizer beam and a defossilizer beam. It's a good episode. I would tell you that if you like good Halloween laughs, watch Dawn. Next time we're going to talk about we'll talk about Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion, which is another horror game. And I'll be linking a video to the musical Fun Random Encounters next time. And don't forget, toward the end of the month, I'll be doing another fanfic I made. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll see you guys in the next video.